Hello there, if you are watching this stream after the fact, then please do feel free to skip forward to the race and qualifying, as I'm just setting up a few little bits on the stream. I will see you in just a moment. Well, hello everybody. Welcome, welcome. Different voice here for your Tier 1 stream this evening. I know it's strange. Well, you may be thinking, oh, Sumo, you do Tier 2. What are you doing over here? Well, Zach Sweeney has had to, how do I put it? I guess he's not able to commentate over to Tier 1 anymore, and so therefore I've jumped in on my day off work at the moment. So hooray for that! Into the commentary box for you guys. I don't know how frequent this will be because obviously real life unfortunately does come first. However much I would like to do this all the time. Just waiting for my blimmin' stream to behave itself so I can have a look at the live chat. Hello Ash. Yes, just what the doctor ordered, Bahrain. Another dose of Bahrain this week before we go into this real life Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, which should be interesting. There's been a slight couple of adjustments to the track. It's only barriers being moved and the final corner being slightly widened or something. But at least we'll visit Saudi Arabia that's fully finished, as it wasn't completely done when we got there. Anytime I've got a lot of, well, I've got quite the candle to hold up to. I will do my very best. I'll thank Zach for being an amazing commentator for the community for, well, since back when we started the Sprint Championship, and it's been incredible to watch his streams, listen to his commentary, and I'm wishing you all the best, mate. I'm sure you won't be a stranger. You'll be in anything. You'll be in the Sprint Championship when you can be. So it's always nice to have you, mate, and we have appreciated everything you've done. I'm sure I speak for myself, of course, and I'm sure I speak for the rest of the admin team, everybody else in the community, and AP especially, who has been absent for a little while. I'm hoping that he's back soon. But anyway, it looks like we're going to go racing. So I'm going to get my usual spiel up. It's the first time I've been commentating on my own for a while. I've got no ghost to fall back on here, so it's just me tonight. But anyway, good evening and welcome back to the commentary box for tonight's dose of racing action. I am, of course, Sumo, your commentator for this evening. And as I said just before, I will be trying tonight to hold a candle to Zach Sweeney. You may know me from Tier 2, of course, where the racing is fantastic, and I can only imagine what Tier 1 has in store for us. This evening, the Tier 1 find themselves at the Bahrain International Circuit. Long straights and heavy braking zones make this 15-turn and 5.412 kilometre circuit quite the spectacle. Expect to see the drivers get the full use out of the DRS this evening, as DRS trains form fairly frequent during races at this circuit. The desert circuit is a favourite of mine, and will not can't speak again. And while not the hardest track, the drivers will need to keep the tyre strategy in mind, as the wear on this circuit is rather harsh. Season 2 champion and my ex-teammate MX leads the championship by 2 points from Slippy Jimmy, who is hot on the heels of the Alpha driver for a taste of Tier 1 glory. Expect to see a thrilling fight between them and the Ferrari pairing of Rick and Jacko as they look to cement what is looking like an inevitable Constructors' Championship. APPF1 Tier 1 is sponsored by High Dive Apparel, who are responsible for some awesome t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, and so much more. You can go check them out over at their website, highdiveapparel.com. And head over to their Facebook and Instagram to go check out their socials, give them the likes, and show them all the support and love that you show myself, Zach, of course, and all of other APPF1 affiliates that you follow. But anyway, we'll get into qualifying. We're going to wait for some drivers to come out. Got a couple of insights. The man coming out on circuit right now, 6/10 in qualifying, ahead of everybody else in time trial at the moment, followed by the NER Ayrton in the Alpha Tauri. So expect them to be at the front, and if they're not, then what are you doing, guys? Come on. I'm sure somebody will give them some some grief in the Discord server tonight if all things go poorly. But we'll follow Cora out. We'll do the standard sort of track tour. I'm sure a lot of you watching have been around Bahrain more than your fair few times, so you'll know it well. But I'll talk you through it as we go. My pole prediction. I don't know. There's a lot out there. MX. He may be leading the championship, but his qualifyings aren't always his greatest strong suit. But expect him to do well in the race. I'm actually trying to find out who the first on the lap is. I'll figure it out. But I'll stick with Koru. I think one of the fastest in time trial, of course. So it would be a little bit foolish to not put backing on him as well. Follow Taylor Hammers then, who will lead us around for the first time lap around Bahrain. So it's going to come down into turn 1, braking around the 100-meter board. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons here at the moment, as I want camera type. That's it. Coming through the tricky turns 2 and 3. Turn 2 can be very tricky if you get onto much of the power. Opening up on the first part of the first DRS straight in the sector 1 into turn 4. It's a sweeping right-hander, a good opportunity to overtake, and then you're into the quick left, right, and then left again. Be careful of the curbs, as they will spit you out as you come through there. And then a tricky braking zone down to 8. If you get it right, it feels great, and you get a great run down to what is probably the trickiest corner on the circuit, is 9 and 10 there. So the quick flick through 9, and then get on the brakes and get the best exit possible through the exit of 10 and onto the next part of the DRS straight. We're then going to come down up to the left-right of turns 11 and 12. Again, if you want to try and find the most optimal line, is use as much of the track as possible here, and really not touch this curb here. Touch that curb, and that's it. That's your lap done. You're going to be spinning out. That corner as well, you can really get a very good boost down this straight here if you get it on. That's turn 13. Coming down to the final 2 corners now, it's very important. If you can carry a lot of speed into this corner, then you can really get a good exit and get that run to the line. Taylor Hammers will be the pace setter for this evening. It's a 1:26.359. Should be sure to look out for more improvements, as we are only very early on in the qualifying session. 26.8 from Lifebout. That's an Alfa Romeo starting a hot lap, so we'll watch Koru then. My pole prediction here as he goes into the 26.1s. That's a decent lap from the Aston Martin driver. Let's see, I think that's MX, our championship leader. He's on an out lap, right? No, he's on his first time lap, so we'll come back to him. Trying to find the guys on laps at the moment. I think that's a Red Bull. No. How about Bossy, veteran from the community. He's been a bit absent. He was a bit absent for a little while, but he's come back, so keep an eye on him. He has been fast from my experience. As Kiernan Teat, Season 3 champion. Puts it on the front row with a 1:26.3. Let's see, we've got the McLaren's speed alcoholic. He's invalidated his lap, so that's not ideal from him. He's a very quick driver though, so expect him to be well up there as well. Here comes Ben Finch in the McLaren. It's looking like a decent lap from him. It's a 26.5, well in the mix there, but there'll be definitely time to improve. I think the drivers will probably find their way into the 25s. Tier 1, of course, is the fastest of the leagues. Here or there abouts. But here at Tier 1 we race with restricted assists, so only corners and auto gears are on, I believe, as MX puts a 126.3 up on the board, going P4, knocking Ben Finch down from his lap. Is that Slippy Jimmy, the title rival? Yes, it is. He'll be starting his lap. We'll keep an eye on him as he comes toward the end of it. That's Tinoz, Tier 2 championship leader, setting a lap 27.9. Not the best from him, but I'm sure he'll see an improvement as time goes on. Is that going to be my sprint teammate coming down the final couple of corners? Yes, it is. It's Jackalacco in the Ferrari coming through the final corner now, coming up to the line. It's only a short run to the line here at Bahrain. Let's see what Jacko can do. It's a 126.6. He out qualifies his teammate Rick for now, but Rick is a fast driver, and that is not his fastest that he can do around this circuit, I will tell you that. Speed alcoholic coming to set a lap. Is that Ben Finch on another lap? No, he's invalidated, so he's coming into the pit lane. Let's ride on board then with Slippy Jimmy, who is halfway through his lap. Ace is on an out lap, and I believe Speed will actually be on the fast lap, so we'll watch him quickly. You'll see that blue dot coming into sector 3 now. That's Slippy Jimmy, the championship rival. He's sat in P2 currently as Speed validates out of the final corner. It wasn't a fast lap anyway from Speed, so here comes Slippy Jimmy. Then we'll watch him as he comes down this final straight before the pit straight. I'm losing my words a little bit, my live chat is being weird, but we're watching as Slippy Jimmy comes across the line. It's not a great lap from the championship rival. It's a 27.5, so he's not going to have the best time at the moment, but like I say, it's very early doors. A couple drivers opted for the medium tyres. It's definitely a good option around here, like I said at the beginning. Tyre wear is quite a integral part of a good race week, well, a good evening of racing around this circuit, as the strategy is well, just very important around here. He is in the pits, and who's that going around the track in that car? That's Aces. Ace is yet to set a lap, so we'll follow on board with Aces. Great driver. He's I've always enjoyed battling with Aces. He's very fast when he wants to be. Definitely a proven race winner. I don't think this is going to be a lap from him. He might be trying to get rid of a little bit of fuel. I can't remember exactly how much, but it's not the optimal amount of fuel for a fast lap, so I'm expecting Aces to really go for it on this part of the lap. Is that Speed again invalidating? He's really not having a good time with track limits at the moment, and I think it's time for him to just sort of come into the pits, put on a new set of tyres, and try again as we reach the 9-minute interval, 9-minute mark of the qualifying session. So that's Slippy Jimmy coming into the pit lane. Yes, it is. Let's see. Apparel Demonac, I will call it for now, as a 28.7. Sorry if I've pronounced the name wrong. He's on the medium tyres though, so not a bad lap, but it's certainly not of the ilk that the top 9 have been able to set so far. Here comes his teammate Zidane straight into the pit lane. NER Ayrton, then the other driver who has been pipped as the one to watch in this qualifying session, 6/10 ahead of everybody else on the time trial leaderboards. So we'll have to see what he can do, see if he can oust Koru from his top step, who I believe is coming out of the pit lane. Or is that the other Aston Martin? No, that is Koru back out on an out lap, so he'll be coming out trying to improve on his previous best. So we'll follow NER Ayrton then for a whole lap around the circuit. Oh, little shaky out of turn 1. That's not going to be great for him. He might think about abandoning that lap. It's very early on to do it. but it's definitely not going to be the ideal way to start a lap around here, as he comes through and down to finish sector 1 now. We'll see what he is. It's 28.2 on the timing boards at the moment. Looked like a fairly clean run through 6 and 7, down into 8. Decent run through there, good exit, getting onto the power nice and smoothly, giving a good run down to 9 and 10. Very important, a lot of time to be won or lost at that corner, and it looked fairly clean from the Alpha Tauri as he comes into the second DRS straight and then straight into turn 11, using as much of the track as he dares over that little curb on the inside there, and then wanting to miss that inside curb for turn 12. Want to get nice and wide for the next corner, just try and set up, roll the car through the corner, focus on that exit to really pull you along that straight there. And he's coming down to the final couple of corners now. We'll have a little bit of tow from the Aston Martin ahead of him, who I believe is Koru at the moment, so he'll be setting a lap immediately after. So we'll see where NER Ayrton can go. It's looking like a fast lap from the Alpha Tauri, but it's a 26.5, so it's not as fast as we were predicting. I think that little mistake in the first corner really threw him off his stride there, so we'll wait and see what he'll do. Ace is his 0.04 of a second up on his previous best, but he's going to come into the pit lane as he's, I believe, out of fuel. Now that's Speed. Speed is setting a lap right now. He's on 4-lap old soft tyres. I'm not sure exactly what Speed's up to at the moment. He is 16 seconds up on his previous best, but I'm not sure that's actually going to be too fast from the South African, so we'll wait and see what he can do. Yeah, it's invalidated again, the exact same spot on that final corner. I'm not exactly sure what Speed Alcoholic is up to at the moment, but here comes Ghost, the 4-time sprint champion, putting in a 27.7, putting him in P11. We missed his whole lap there, but that's not a bad time. He's the leading medium compound runner at the moment. He could be going out to set another lap there, where he does get a little bit shaky out of turn 3 though. That didn't look too pleasant to experience. Who else is out on circuit? Let's see who's coming across the line now. It's Taylor Hammers, who's coming to improve on his lap, but it's fairly similar actually. But he peels into the pit lane. He's got time to put on another set of tyres and go for it again. That's the Dane starting an out lap. Starting a fast lap. He's invalidated his last one, so we'll keep an eye on that. See if he can improve up the field. I don't really know where people are sat in Tier 1 at the moment. I haven't raced in Tier 1 or been watching along. Womack's on a very slow lap at the moment, but I think this will be his fast lap, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. Which Alpha Romeo is in the lead right now? It's Tenoz, who set a purple sector 2, so this could be a lap to watch. He's only a little bit up on his time though, so it might not be a huge improvement, but it could put him ahead of Lifebout and NER Ayrton. Perhaps we'll wait and see as the Tier 2 Championship leader comes across the line now. It's looking like a decent lap. It's going to put him up into P9, which I don't think is any improvement actually. So we'll see what MX can do. Is he going to come across the line? No, he's straight into the pit lane. He's put it on the front row though, I must say. He's set the exact same lap time as Kiernan. With a 26.321. I don't know how I've missed that, but I've only just noticed. I don't know who set them first, or I don't know if Kieran's done 2 runs. I can't remember. If anyone can let me know, then that would be great. It's a bit of a system shock to be commentating on your own again. Here comes Koru, cementing himself still at the top. Everybody's 2 tenths off. And so he is the man to beat out there on the circuit right now. Here comes Zidane into the pit lane. So not a lot of drivers finding improvement, although I thought Zidane was 8 tenths up, but there might be some issues with the timing board or something. But is that Rick? Yes it is. He's on the medium tyre, so he'll be looking to try and qualify on those mediums for the race, which is probably the optimal strategy around Bahrain. So I'm not surprised to see them going for that. Aces versus Kings. Across the line. No, it's an outlap, so it's not going to be any improvement. But we're just waiting to see. Is that Tinoz coming through? Is he? No, he's on a slow lap, so he'll be coming into the pit lane now as well. There's Slippy Jimmy, title contender. He's invalidated this lap, and I think he'll be crawling into the pits to try and get out for one final run. FRL Demoniac. I think that's how it is. I know what he's going for, like Maniac and Demon. It's just tricky to pronounce. We'll wait and see. We'll follow Rick because he'll be the first to set what is now the final lap. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. I need to move that so I can actually keep an eye on the timing. So there's 2 minutes of 43, so expect the last runs to be coming in now. I'm not seeing the sector times for Rick, so we won't see much data for him on his final run of the session. Little bit shaky out of the final corner. It sees him go over that exit curb. I don't think it's going to be a huge improvement. No, it only puts him up into P16, so the Ferrari's going to have a hard time in qualifying. He might be able to get one more run in perhaps if he's quick enough. Let's see if I can find anybody else who's out on a lap right now. There's Demoniac. Here comes Aces. He's going to be 3 tenths up on this one, so this will see him improve up into P11, and he'll beat out Ghost by 2 tenths of a second. Let's find somebody else. NER Ayrton started his lap. Womax invalidated. He's crawling into the pit lane. Bossy Vamos just starting his lap as well. So I think Demoniac is actually the lead car of all of the runners so far. I think, yeah. MX is on an out lap, so we're wide on board with the Red Bull of Demoniac. He'll be looking to improve on that lap time. I really need to be looking at the times to see where we are, but we'll see what this exit's looking like. It could be a quick lap from the Red Bull, but I'm not too sure. It's not going to see him up in the top 10. Will it see any sort of improvement? No, it's no improvement on his previous best, so I think he'll be staying down in P13 for the time being. Let's ride on board. That's not the one we want. Who's next to come across the line? Speed's on an out lap. Horror's on an out lap. Jim Straff hasn't set a time, which is strange. So I believe it would be NER Ayrton next across the line, who is coming down toward the final 2 corners now. So it's NER Ayrton, picked to be one of the fastest on the circuit for this qualifying session. Let's see if he can match Koru's time, or hell, even beat it. It's looking like a good lap from the AlphaTauri, but it's not much of an improvement. It's only improvement by a 10th. Doesn't improve his position, I don't think. Actually, no, put him up ahead of Ben Finch. So it's not the improvement he would have wanted. Let's find somebody else. That's Slippy Jimmy, our championship contender. He is on his out lap, so just getting over the line for the final run. It's not Ben Finch, it's Speed Alcoholic on a lap. Trying to find the guys who are on laps right now. Is that MX coming across the line? It is. Tinoz coming across the line. Doesn't look like much of an improvement there. Can MX challenge for pole position? He can. It's 1:26.047. So Koru's got the answer. MX has found the answer, but Kiernan goes even faster into the 25.8. So he finds an answer and takes that front spot away from MX. Looks like there's a Haas spun around on the final corner there. There's a Red Bull coming across the line. I think that's the Dane. Where is he going to put him? Up into P9, so he gets himself into the top 10 on that final run. How about Taylor Hammers? Not much of an improvement from him. Ben Finch, is that the next one to come across the line? It is. Up into P3, a good lap from the McLaren. Here comes Koru then, the man who was on pole for most of the session. He goes back to pole position, 25.7, answering Kiernan and MX, who may be on another lap as well. I think that's Jackalaku coming next across the line. It's a slow lap from Jacko, no improvement there. We're going to move down. I think that's NER Ayrton. I think he's on a slow lap, so that's no improvement from him. That's his qualifying over and done with for now. Here comes Aces. Aces 1/10 up. It's looking like a slight improvement, but I'm not sure it's going to improve his position in the qualifying stand. So I think as it stands, he will be P13 in this session. Slippy Jimmy, championship contender, 2/10 up. He goes up into P8, knocking Life Bout and Zidane down a place. Okay, and then is that MX coming across the line again? No, he's going to continue going through. Tino's coming across the line now. I'm trying to see. I think everybody's done. So I think all eyes are on Kiernan and MX. MX on a slow lap. How about Kiernan? He's on a slow lap as well. So that's going to be a lot. Koru, then my prediction for qualifying on the front row, proving true proving true that he is one of the fastest in the time trial leaderboards. And NER Ayrton has been just slightly shown up here, I think. I won't promote giving somebody a grief in the Discord, but I won't be surprised if it happens. But there we go. I have also been informed that there might be a lobby reset, so we're going to have to be prepared for that. It's going to be a shame. It's going to eat into some time, but these things happen from time to time. But Koru then, as I rightly predicted, is your man on pole position in the Aston Martin. And Kiernan, Season 3 champion, going into P2. The Irishman doing well to get himself on the front row. Only 0.08 of a second behind Koru. Another champion in the form of MX on P3, making up the top 3 cars. These guys will be sure to be doing quite the battle. We then have Ben Finch in P4, Taylor Hammers P5, Jack Alaka in the Ferrari P6, Ayrton P7, Slippy Jimmy 8th, 9th is Lifebout, Zidane is 10th, Tinoz 11, Demoniac 12, Ace is 13, 14 is Speed, Ghost, Womax and Rick. Oh, and I can't remember the last two. But that is your grid. That's how they're going to line up for this Bahrain Grand Prix. And I'll ask you guys to hold tight for now as we prepare for a potential lobby reset. Yeah, it's looking like a lobby reset, everybody, so you're going to have to hold tight. I do apologise. These things happen. We will try to be with you as quickly as we can. So we're going to have a little bit of downtime here. Can't do well at this track. Yeah, sometimes it's like that, sometimes you're off. Ayrton for the win from Scott Marshall there. He's a little bit down the order. He's not too far, but it's certainly possible. Anything's possible in the race. So we'll see. I'm expecting quite the fight at the front, to be honest. We've got some very fast guys up there. Koru is a fast driver for sure, but he can sometimes let himself down, making silly mistakes and crashing out. So fast, but not the most reliable of drivers. Lifebout in P8. That's a decent qualifying for you, dude. Well done there. Let's hope you can transfer that qualifying performance into some decent points this evening. But yes, we are currently waiting for the new invites. My goal for the race is to spin on this. Is not to spin on this track. That's a very good goal. A goal I had for myself once upon a time. A goal I still have for myself every time I get behind the wheel or the controller, I suppose. Whenever we go racing. No sprint championship this weekend. As the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix will clash, unfortunately. But it gives the drivers some time to have a little break from the intensity that is the sprint championship. But we'll carry on talking about Tier 1. Used to race at Tier 1 myself. Renault in the first season, and one half of the constructors winning team that was MX and myself, and then I had to pull out. But Tier 1 is very Tier 1 is very competitive at times. There's a lot of fast guys in there, a lot of very consistent guys in there as well. You can really have some awesome battles. Tier 1 started as just a friendly non-points but slightly competitive league, well, not league, but just Friday night race events, and I had some great races through there until it then became Tier 1, and well, we all know how my first race of Tier 1 went, so I'm not going to relive those harsh memories. But over its time, Tier 1's produced some excellent racing, and well, I haven't followed it. I haven't been following it. I must admit, because I haven't really had the time. But I'm looking forward to a good race. And if Tier 2's anything to go by, then well, we're going to be in for one hell of a Grand Prix this evening. There's the invite. So the end of my ramblings is almost over. And it's a big Tier 1 grid. Yeah, I know we've been struggling for numbers for Tier 1 over the last few weeks. But a big grid, so hopefully a very good race. It's a good track to have a big grid on, is Bahrain. I expect maybe one or two safety cars, especially if the racing gods are against you this evening, live bout. But I've got my fingers crossed that everybody makes it to the checkered flag this evening. Well, unlike the real life Bahrain Grand Prix last weekend. We won't talk about that though. Just wait for everybody to get back into the session, and hopefully there'll be no need to reset the lobby for a second time. I'll tell you what, while I've got this time, I'm actually going to go share the stream out onto the Discord, because I've not actually done that. Unless somebody's done it for me, which, thank you very much. Let me go to the thing, and then put the thing in there. There we go, that's in there now. I might be able to get those numbers up. I do apologise if you're tuning in now. It's for the late posting of that. Normally I've got a little bit of time, but I had to do a software update, because when you get a PC, your console just kind of starts collecting dust rather than getting much use out of it. But F1 keeps the PlayStation going, so that's where its very important role in my setup lies. But yeah, we'll just wait for the racing to get back underway. Feel free to put your top 3 predictions in, those of you currently watching at the moment, after the qualifying session there. I'm going to go, oh, here we go. I'm going to say MXP2. The win, you know, I'm going to trust Scott on this one. I'm going to say Ayrton for the win, MXP2, and I know I have to be impartial, but I want Jack Lacko on the podium because he's my sprint teammate and a really great racer, and get on the podium in that Scarlet Ferrari, mate. Because I want to see it, but in the same breath, you know, maybe give the other constructors a chance to come back and have another little fight for both championships instead of just the one. We're just waiting for one more driver. It'll be one more driver as Ben Finch joined the session without signing up or being part of Tier 1. I don't exactly know what happened there, but just waiting. Kiernan for the win. Yeah, well, you know, you got to support yourself. Got to really put yourself out there. I mean, you're on the front row. I think, maybe, or the second row. I can't remember the grid lineup. We'll get to that, but I think it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight, and I'm glad to be the one to bring it to you this evening. And yeah, hopefully everybody finishes the race. That's always the hope when we go into one of these sessions. I'm just waiting for that one more driver, I believe, before we get going. 7 of you in the stream now. Welcome. If you are wondering why we're not racing at the moment, it's because we've just had a lobby reset, so we're just waiting to see where we are. Well, waiting to get things back underway. Bahrain can be unpredictable sometimes, as you say, Lifebout. That final corner wants to catch you out sometimes. The traction is very shifty around there. Turn 10 and 9, I don't have to say much about them. You should know how tricky those corners can be. Turn 7 exit curb, that's a nightmare. I've had many a race end on that curb. The turn 12 curb, horrible curb. Yeah, Bahrain is... It looks simple on paper when you first sort of get down to business with Bahrain. It's a very simple track, but it does have the element that can catch you out, and that turn 2 as well. If you get a little bit too greedy on the old throttle there over that curb, then you can see yourself spinning, just like a certain Russian driver that is gone, and I won't say anything more because I could go on all day. I think we're close to getting back underway now. I think we're just waiting for Ghost to give the go-ahead. I'll be updated. Yeah, here we go. Then we're getting back up and ready to go for what is looking to be a promising race here at APPF1 Tier 2. And of course, this racing action is brought to you by High Dive Apparel once again. Please do go over and check them out over on their socials and over on their website, as they deserve all the support and all the following that you guys give us commentators in APPF1. Megastar incoming, go for it, Lifebout. It's very important on the start to get all of the elements right. You want to get the best, you want to sort of, well, phase 1 and phase 2 are very important. You can sometimes get away with being sloppy on phase 1, but phase 2 is really where the kick of that start really goes. I like to say I'm pretty good at starts. Sometimes depends whereabouts I'm starting. Um, but yeah, I'll be expecting to see an AlphaTauri flying to the top of the grid, and if I don't, then turn 1 chaos. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. This is tier 1, of course. All these drivers are very sensible, very respectful drivers. But you never know. There's sometimes little mistakes that can happen. But speaking as a commentator and a steward, hopefully everybody makes it through turn 1. Because us stewards could do with a couple nights off. Although it has been fairly slow, I will say. I mean, we did have the break in tier 2 this week, so very little racing action going on, apart from elite and tier 1, of course. But here we go then. Dive bomb, no, don't do that. That's another Russian that we probably won't see in Formula 1 again, unless one of the is it? I can't remember where he is now. Oh, Danny Kvyat, the torpedo. I thought he was at Alpine, but I don't think he is now, because I think it's Oscar Piastri. Where is Danny Kvyat? That is the question for this year, everyone. Where is he? Why is he? And righty. That explains it. They were setting the grid up. That's why we are. But waiting so long, so we're going to go ahead and get the formation lap. I'm going to very quickly get everything up before I get Scott moaning at me that I've not got the telemetry up. So Corey then will be your pole man. He will lead the cars around on this formation lap, with Kieran and Teat just beside. These guys are going to be in the fight for sure at the front here as an ex-champion and a very fast driver. We've got another, well, the current champion actually, I should say. Season 2 champion, ex-champion, lining up on P3. We've got, well, in terms of tier 1, sorry, we've got 2 tier 1 champions in this lobby. We've got a 4-time sprint champion of Ghost down in P14 there in the Mercedes, so I'll wait and see how he can get on with this race. We'll carry on running through the grid though, as Ben Finch has rejoined the lobby again, and hopefully he won't be able to get back into the car that he was in. So there's Taylor Hammers in the Haas, good qualifying from him. Then Jack Alacco P5 in the Ferrari. NER Ayrton P6 with the Alpine of Slippy Jimmy, who will be looking to try and minimise the points that MX gets over him this evening. So we'll be expecting a good race from the Alpine driver. Lifebout, a great qualifying from him. He doesn't always see himself up in P8, so he'll be hoping to get a great start off the line. Then there's the Red Bull of Zidane and the Tier 2 Championship leader Tinoz in the other Alfa Romeo seat in P10. Then there's Demoniac, Aces versus Kings, Speed Alcoholic, Ghost, Womax, Rick, who's had a very poor qualifying for his standards, so he'll be looking to make up places in the race. Bossy and Jim Strav, as the predicted strategy comes up. Those on the mediums will be going for a one-stop. Jim Strav is on the hard compound tyres, and there'll be a two-stop for those on the softs. But there might be some people trying their luck, but we'll wait and see as our drivers line up on the grid, ready to go. The most nerve-wracking part of a race. All the adrenaline's pumping. You're waiting for those 5 red lights to go out. You're hoping that you get a great start. You're hoping that nobody goes right up your rear in turn 1 and unsettles you for the rest of the race. But I'm sure we won't see that part of the racing here this evening. So here we go then. We're going to the 5 red lights. 3, 4, 5 red lights of the Bahrain Grand Prix here at tier 1. and they're underway, and it's looking like a good start from the Alfa Romeo and the Aston Martin as well. But the Haas of Taylor Hammer's getting a really good start. It's looking like they're going to go 3 wide in the back there. Koru gets away well, and Taylor Hammers goes up 2 positions. I think there's a little bit of contact as both the AlphaTauris move well up. An incredible start from the both of them. NER into P4, Lifeboat into P5. He must have taken a lot of my advice on board on the start there. We'll have a look at positions gained and lost for the first couple of laps, but MX getting completely swamped and is now in the clutches of his championship rival. So we'll be watching these two as they fight along through. That's Jackalacco falling way down the order. He goes wheel to wheel with Ghost into turn 8, and he's had a dreadful start. He's dropped down 7 positions. That is a shame for the Ferrari driver. He's a quick driver, though. He'll surely get back into this race, I'm certain. We're looking back up the order now. Taylor Hammers is challenging Koru for the lead here. He's just 2 tenths behind. There's no DRS, of course, on the opening 3 laps of the race. So, well, it won't be activated till lap 3 anyway, but we've actually sandwiched between Aston and a Haas, and Aston and a Haas at both ends of the grid there, which is quite cool. Bossy's asking for another invite. I will try and send one if I can. I don't want to miss any of this racing action, though. It looks like Jacko's trying to set up a move on the 4-time sprint champion of Ghost. As Koru sets the fastest lap of the race, trying to keep an eye on the racing action. Here comes Tinoz on Aces versus Kings. Aces going defensive to the inside. Tinoz going to go around the outside. They're going to go side by side into the corner. I'm not sure where Aces is right now. They're going wheel to wheel, and Tinoz gets ahead through the next part of the corner, and now here comes the Dane in the Red Bull going after Aces. It's got the inside line. Aces on the medium tyres, the non-grippy tyre. For the start, wheel to wheel through turn 4, and it's a good move from the Red Bull, and then Jackalacco gets up ahead, and there's this contact. There's both Jackalacco and Aces have spun. Jacko into the barrier just lightly, and Aces as well spun around. No damage from both of them, but that was quite the little blip there from there. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I didn't have the best angle, but we might see that one later on this evening in the steward's room. Come on, Ayrton, my blue, it's nice to have you. Yeah, Ayrton's got a really great start as MX has got past Lifebout, who he got an incredible start as well, actually. Well done, Lifebout. Let's bring home those points, mate. But MX putting a car between himself and Slippy Jimmy, so that's going to be very important as we go through the race. DRS will be activated on this lap. We've got a 4-car battle on our hands at the moment, but Koru is looking to open up that gap from Taylor Hammers, who is coming under pressure now from Kin and Teat, the season 3 champion. Taylor Hammers goes defensive, forcing Kin and Teat to go the long way round through the corner. Taylor Hammers fends him off for now. Kinnan's going to look to try for a switch back, as he know. He's going to look to go under DRS up into turn 4 at this point here, but Taylor Hammers gets DRS as well, helping him in his defensive campaign for P2 at the moment. So it's going to be one by one they go, no swaps for the moment, but Koru will be looking to get away from these guys that are trailing behind him. Trying to see all the action, just watching the front at the moment. This is looking like a good battle. MX is looking like he's going to get involved in this now. We now go to a 7-car train for the lead. This is incredible. I thought this is something that would happen. Tier 1 is incredibly competitive when it wants to be. So this race is going to... Well, I wish I had the skills of Zach Sweeney, because I'm definitely going to need it. And probably some hauls or something after the race to tackle a sore throat as we go through. Demoniac getting close to Womack's on the back there, but not making any significant moves on him, is he? I'm not sure. We'll see as he comes down to the final corner. No, it's not quite. He'll look to get him under DRS, I'm sure, as we go through. Back to the front quickly is Taylor Hammers. No, he's going to sensibly sit behind Koru. He's going to wait for that DRS down to turn 4. We could see a switch for the lead here as the Haas is looking to set it up. This is a great fight already as Kinnan's also putting pressure on the Haas car as well, but nobody got making the move yet. Zidane getting past Tinoz at the moment. There's a fight going on actually between the Alfa Romeo and the Red Bull. That was very close there. They're going to continue to go side by side. Ghost is looking to get involved in on the action as well, but he's going to find himself blocked in by the two of them going wheel to wheel through 7 and 8. Again, the Red Bull goes wide and is going to lose out to Ghost. Is he now? Ghost goes wheel to wheel with going around the outside of turn 8. They're going to continue to go side by side. To Speed Alcoholic now finding himself blocked, but Ghost manages to get the better exit and gets up ahead of the position. Zidane not going to be too happy about how that one played out there. No changes up the front thus far. They're all sort of helping each other break away from the guys behind them. So we're waiting to see how this action erupts into some, I'm sure will be incredible racing. Like I say, Bahrain always provides this DRS train style of racing, and it can be incredible to watch at times. But there's lots of different trains up and down the grid at the moment. We've got a battle for P1, battle for P5, there's a battle for P8 or 8 going on at the moment, and there's a lot happening right now. I'm trying to watch the front as Ayrton's going to look to set up a move on Kiernan, but it's not quite going to go through. Here comes Ghost on Tinoz. He's going to have the inside. I think he's going to get him before the corner. Tinoz looking to stick it round the outside, and he does so. He's going to have the inside for turn 2 there. They're going to continue to go side by side as they go down towards turn 4, but I think Ghost has just won out now. And here comes Zidane coming back at Tinoz once again. He's going to have the inside for the next part of the corner. They'll go wheel to wheel once more. He pushes him all the way out to the outside to Tinoz, and then in comes Speed Alcoholic. Very opportunistic move from the South African to claim P10. What great racing from those guys. Good stuff. Again, these guys at the front, it's a very tame sort of race for these guys. Koru is just dragging these guys along. MX is falling out of the DRS. He's just out. He's 4/10 outside. But it can be quite a lot to catch up, especially when the guys ahead of you have all got DRS as well. But Taylor Hammers might be looking to set up an attack here. He's very close to the back of that Aston Martin, looking for the better exit, looking to carry more speed than the Aston. Koru going defensive already. He knows he's under threat. He can feel the pressure from the Haas, but the Haas has got to look in his mirrors as well. Kiernan Teat is looking to get up a place, and I think Koru's going to hold him off for now. Oh, Taylor Hammers thought about it and said no, not this time. He'll try again up to turn 4. I'm sure he's got Kiernan sniffing at that diffuser there. He'll be looking to try and get through as well. Is Taylor Hammers going to put a move on? No, he's not. He's just sensibly sitting behind. He's saying, no, I'm not going to do that there for the time being. We're going to go down back a little bit, are we? Is there anything going on in the middle of the grid? No, so the front is where we're going to be watching, where we're going to be turning our attention at the moment, as we'll be soon entering into the pits window for the soft compound runners. So we'll move over to the tyre life. Now, no stops yet, except for Aces, who came in after a spin. That was a horrible way to start the race. He's on a fresh set of medium tyres. So we'll keep an eye on Aces, who I'm sure will make trying to make a recovery, but he's quite far back from the rest of the pack here, as Taylor Hammers is just losing a little bit of time on Koru here. It's very draining. Lots of VRS to spare between the lot of them. Ayrton sitting sensibly on the back. MX trying to catch up. He's used a lot more ERS, and there's some contact, or there was something happening there. I think it might have been some lag actually. It looked like there was a car that was veered off to the left. Perhaps it was Ayrton who misjudged his braking point, so MX is going to find himself right on the back of the AlphaTauri, and Taylor Hammers is going to go for the lead. He's going round the outside of Koru. It's possible to get it done around there. There's a little bit of wheel banging between the two of them as Koru uses all the track, pushing Taylor Hammers out wide. Kiernan's now going to be coming on the attack, noticing the Haas has been compromised, and he's going to get up into P2. That was a good move from Kiernan there. Their nose to bumper, their nose to diffuser even as they go through turn 4. Ayrton back on. I think Taylor Hammers has left the session. That is a shame for him. He was running a really good race, and that's going to put take a whole load of pressure off of Koru now, but he does still have Kiernan sniffing at his, nipping at his heels for the moment. So he's 2 cars well away from him, but there's still amount of pressure for the race lead. MX is going to be looking to try and challenge Ayrton for that P3 that he's got at the moment. Kiernan not quite getting close enough for now. We'll keep an eye on that battle as it develops. Ayrton is just chilling. He's back and he's spun. No, he's not spun. It's lifeboat. Oh, lifeboat. He's touched the curb at turn 12 and that's it. He's going to plummet down the order now as the pack just swallows him up. And he drops way down into P10. That is a shame. That's the thing he said he didn't want to do in this race. And it looks like he's done it as he's now getting passed by Tinoz. As Koru first to bite the bullet and come into the pits then. So going for the undercut on his rivals at the moment. Will that pay out for him? We'll have to wait and see as he exits his pit box. And see what it can do. He might be caught up in a lot of the battling here. He's going to drop way down the order to, excuse me, to P15. A little bit too much water there for me as Rick and Tinoz go wheel to wheel. Down up to turn, down on the run to turn 4 as, wow, Rick very distinctly sort of cuts in front of Tinoz there. That looked a bit dangerous from the off-board camera, but I'm sure there was enough room left. I didn't look too dodgy of a move. To the trained eye at least. Ayrton back in the DRS of Kiernan now, so he'll just be looking to chill. I think there'll be more pit stops to come here as Koru has come in. We're just going to be watching and waiting to see how this all plays out at the moment. As we lose our intervals for now, which is very annoying. Sort that out, Codemasters. But it's a shame. Koru is that, you see, Koru is just coming through up into turn 12 now, starting to come to sector 3. And nobody peeling into the pits. No MX into the pits. Championship leader then into the pit lane for a fresh stop. His rival Slippy Jimmy stays out. These two are very close on points at the moment. 2 points between the two of them. This is the race we're really watching between these two, and hopefully they can fight them. Well, have a little fight between the two of them. Taylor Hammer's back into the pit lane. I think he's rejoined the session. Always horrible when you lag out of a race. Where's Koru going to come out? He's going to be ahead of MX coming into the next portion. It was always going to happen. I think he's gained a little bit of time on MX as well. One thing with this track is if you can get at, if you're stuck in these DRS trains, is that's the Womack's in the Williams spun round at turn 2. That would be a shame for him and his race. But as I was saying, if you can get out of the DRS train, sometimes it's beneficial for you as you've got less dirty air. You can run in slightly cleaner air and really kind of focus on getting in some quick laps and trying to fight those rivals. But Ayrton and Kiernan very close between each other. I'm certain that one of them will be coming into the pits very soon. There's no way they're going to make a soft medium work, although I'm prepared to eat my words if that does happen. These guys are very skilled drivers, of course, on the game. And there it is. In comes Kiernan in the Williams then. In for his stop. We'll be keeping an eye on where he comes out compared to Koru. Koru is coming down into the final 2 corners now. He's the second Aston Martin of the 2 green dots you can see on your screen there for the moment. Let's see, he's going into the hard tyres, is Kiernan. So this is going to be a one-stop race for him, definitely. Koru's on the medium tyre. Let's see where he is. Look onto the right-hand side of the screen for the Williams, and Koru is definitely ahead. And Koru is going wheel to wheel with his teammate, who doesn't seem to want to give his teammate that position. But I think Koru just gets it anyway. Goes off track a little bit there on the exit. He had to really work for that one. I think he won't be too happy with Jim Strav there for making him work for that. But all's fair in love and war, I suppose. I haven't spoken this much on the comm stream in a long time. Normally Ghost and I share the load, but this is very taxing on the old voice, let's say. I'm drinking a lot of water this evening. As Bossy Vamos is the first driver to get a penalty this evening. Lifeboat coming under threat from Demoniac as Kiernan gets ahead of Jim Strav, so he'll be looking to try and chase after Koru. He's got a lot of time. Well, he's got 7/10 to try and catch up to the Aston Martin of Koru as they try and filter their way through the pack. Ayrton on 10-lap old soft still hasn't come in, so Ayrton is going to try that one stop, I think. Same as Slippy Jimmy here as well, so they're the drivers to watch. Most importantly, MX is now caught up to Jim Strav, and he'll be looking to get in this fight here as the Dane comes into the pits for a fresh set of soft tyres, no, medium tyres, sorry. I watch the fighting here. Zidane dropping down as Bossy gets past him through the pits. MX has got up ahead of Jim Strav. I think I just missed that. So there's a little train going on to Kiernan at the moment as MX will be looking to get himself in there. I think MX could potentially be on for a podium here as he's found himself in a decent spot just behind the two guys who were fighting for the lead. I'll have to wait and see how the rest of the strategies play out. I'm not sure what Ayrton is trying to do. I think it is going to be a one-stop from him, probably onto the medium tyres. It's a very risky move from the AlphaTauri. And speaking of AlphaTauris, that's Koru getting past Ayrton's teammate Lifeboat down into turn 11 there. Koru puts another car in between Kiernan and himself. But Kiernan is catching up, but not too much to Koru. But I think a lot of the fighting that filtering through the grid Koru is going to have to do now. It's going to play dividends. But NER Ayrton's into the pit, so he's coming out right now. Let's run on board with Koru. Look again on the right-hand side of the screen there. Koru's just got out ahead of this of Ayrton as well. So Koru is, I believe, provisionally in the lead yet, because the rest of them have to come in for a stop. And most importantly, Demoniac and Lifebout going, Kiernan going for a move on Lifebout, and I think MX might try and find a way through as well. He's not going to find it. There's not enough road, not enough straight left for him to go for that move. Tinos getting up ahead of Jackalacco toward the back of the grid there. There's a little bit of a fight going on. Oh, yeah, there's a big scrap going on. Taylor Hammers, Jacko and Tinos all going at it down in toward turn 4, and as Slippy Jimmy just casually sits in front of him. I'm not sure what happened to Slippy. He's way down the order. I think he just came in for his stop actually, and he's way down on MX at the moment. As there's a spun, that's a spun Haas down there. That was Bossy. There's a lot of shifting, changing going on. Kiernan and Demoniac going wheel to wheel now into turn 11 and 12, and Kiernan gets the position, putting another car in between himself and MX. He's charging after Koru, but he's not quite got the gap on him. Koru on the grippier tyres, who's now right on the back of Rick, as well as they come down toward the final two corners. It'll be a clear pass for Koru, I think. And the more cars Koru gets past, the more space he finds himself in. It's going to be harder and harder for Kiernan to try and catch up. But the important thing is that Kiernan can outlast Koru on the distance that those tyres will take him, as Koru gets past Rick now. And Kiernan will be looking to do the same very shortly. But he does have a Red Bull on his tail, but he also, well, he does have a MX on his tail, who will be looking to try and get past the Red Bull of Demoniac as soon as he possibly can, but it's not going to be on this occasion, certainly. There's a lot of scrapping going on down the back here. There's a lot of cars in such a small space. Slippy Jimmy's sitting ahead of all the chaos. Bossy getting very, very close to the back of that Alpine now. Tinos, Taylor Hammers, Jacko, Womax, all fighting away for the lower positions. All positions score points in APPF1, so all of the positions do matter, which makes the racing that little bit more intense, I think. as MX is looking to set up a move on Demoniac. This could be important for his campaign during this race. He's not going to quite get it here. He'll be looking for a better exit through this corner. Ayrton is right on the back of MX now as well. So Ayrton is going to go on the attack down onto the pit straight here. Koru is well ahead in the lead, and so Ayrton and MX are going to be left to fight out over that last place on the podium at the moment. And MX is going to have to be looking in his mirrors because the AlphaTauri of Ayrton is going on the hunt for Alfa Romeo. Where is Ayrton? He's way behind. MX is one out for now. They've both got past Demoniac okay, but MX is now going to have to look in his mirrors once again as Ayrton is going to go on the attack down toward turn 4. It's going to be a good move. He's got the inside line. It's a very odd camera angle to be watching racing from, but Ayrton gets ahead. MX looking for the better exit, but Ayrton on those fresher tyres has just got more grip than the Alfa Romeo, and he sets the fastest sector 1 in the process too. So Ayrton claims that provisional P3 for now, but I'm sure MX isn't quite out of this yet. And remember, MX isn't really fighting these guys. The man he's fighting at the moment is Slippy Jimmy. He's got a fairly decent points advantage ahead of everybody else, as well as Slippy Jimmy. It's just important that he gets those, and important that he finishes the race. Aces has retired from the session. I think that happened a couple laps back now. That was a shame. It's always a shame to see somebody retire from the race, whether that be a crash or they've just had enough. Race has settled down a little bit now, but Speed going for a move on Ghost. He's looking up the inside. I don't think Ghost is going to fight this too much. Is he? No, they are. They're going to have a little fight with each other. They're going to go wheel to wheel through turn 1, through turn 2 as well. Ghost wins out at the moment, but Speed's going to have the DRS on him again. So these two having a little fight there at the front. They're not the race leaders, but they are enjoying their time at the top of the grid for the moment, as Koru is slowly closing in, and actually Kiernan is starting to lessen that gap that Koru has over him. So I think the mediums are starting to very subtly start to go into the less optimal window, as Kiernan is catching up. He's 1.2, 1.3 for the moment, but if he can get into that DRS range, then Koru is going to have to start looking in his mirrors once more. Ayrton and MX looking to navigate their way past the Ferrari of Rick, and I think Ayrton's going to get the job done before turn 11. He is putting a car between himself and MX. That's going to help Ayrton cement that podium if he can, but we're approaching the halfway point of this race, and I wouldn't count my chickens thus far, because anything can happen. This is motor racing, as Koru gets himself a 3-second time penalty, so that's going to be crucial when it comes to determining the final results, especially if the guys behind are close enough and can keep it clean for the remainder of this race. As we have, is that Slippy Jimmy? That's Slippy Jimmy making a mistake at turns 12 and 13. Doesn't look like he's got any damage for the moment, but that's really going to affect his championship as he continues his fight against MX for the Tier 1 Championship trophy, even though there isn't actually a trophy. Speed Alcoholic on the hunt for Ghost once again. Koru catching up, Kiernan catching up to them as well. I think if Koru gets close enough to the back of those two, I think Kiernan might just catch up into DRS range as MX finds his way past Rick finally and looks to get on the back of this train. This is going to be a very exciting fight toward the end of the race. Excuse me again. I think the one-stop window is going to be coming up now, so expect to see those guys who started on the medium tyres start peeling into the pit lane now. So that'd be Ghost, Speed, Rick, Demoniac, Jim, and Womax as well. There might be a few other drivers that decide to come in as Rick runs a little bit wide out of turn 13 there. Very easy to do. Let's run back up to the front. The gap's just filling out as well. Kiernan just slightly falling back, although Ayrton is going to be applying the pressure now. He's going up the inside on the Williams driver, and he's got it done before the braking zone. But importantly, Kiernan's going to have the DRS on him coming back. This is a very Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen-esque battle that we could have on our hands here. As Kiernan opens up that DRS now, looking to go on the attack once more. It's not quite going to be on for the Williams driver, so he's just going to have to sit behind Ayrton, who Ayrton wants to go after Koru, and he's actually not that far off him at all. You can just about see him there. When you start seeing the names of the cars, that's when you know they're close. That's when you know you need to be worried about them. And yeah, there it is. There's Ayrton getting into that DRS zone now. So we're going to have ourselves quite a fight as Koru's got to try and navigate the two cars ahead. Oh, that's Ghost into the wall! That's a huge crash, and I'm not sure, where is he? Is he out of this race? No, he's still going. He's still going, but no, he's out. He's tried to recover the car and he's gone. The tyre's too warm, he's spun and he's hit the wall. I think that could be a safety car. I'm not too sure, but I have to keep an eye on it. No, I don't think it is actually. Very dangerous spot, but... Oh, there it is. There's the safety car. Absolute calamity for Ghost there. That was horrible. But for Speed Alcoholic, he suddenly found himself in the fight for the race lead. This safety car has changed up the order and changed up the remainder of this race for something that's going to be incredibly great to watch. And I'm going to need to go and refill my water before I carry on. So I'm going to leave you following Speed for now as we reset the grid under safety car. But wow, that crash has really thrown things up into the air. That's a huge shame, Ghost. Those tyres were well and truly gone, and then they just... I imagine they were so hot that you couldn't get the car back going. But that was incredibly sad to watch. And interestingly, Koru and Ayrton are on the medium tyres. Everybody else, apart from Tinos and Bossy, onto the soft compound tyre. I'd imagine the race will be getting back underway on the next lap. So it's going to be a 10-lap sprint to the finish. So I think Koru and Ayrton have made the right decision, I think. But only time will tell. Yeah, I think so too, mate. You were well up there. Well on for a podium as well. Such a shame. That's the way racing goes. Yeah, what timing indeed. Speed Alcoholic will be rubbing his hands together, I'm sure, when he saw that safety car came out. I've got my refill of water here. What is going to be an incredible sprint to the checkered flag. We've had some great racing action already, but we're going to be on for some even more racing action in a few moments' time. We're just waiting for Bossy Vamos to get back onto the back as he retires. So that's going to be his race over. He's had enough this evening. So safety car will most certainly be in this lap, so we will be back racing on lap 20 of 29. following the cars round. This is going to be one hell of a fight for the podium. And Speed Alcoholic is going to be leading everybody round for it. He's an incredibly fast driver in that orange McLaren there, so we'll have to wait and see what he can do. But he does have equally fast drivers behind him. He's got two Tier 1 champions behind him as well, so the pressure is certainly all on Speed at this moment, and this could be a win for him today. Safety car in this lap then. Speed Alcoholic will be the provisional safety car, so he will control the pace. He's weaving around, warming up those tyres, letting that safety car get back to the pit lane before he gets off. They'll be waiting. Koru, very Max Verstappen-esque form of trying to hustle Speed to get on with the restart and just get this racing back. That's Tinol's way down the order as Speed Alcoholic punches it, and he gets away well using the grippier tyres to his effect. Kiernan's on the attack already. He's looking for a move on Ayrton. I'm not sure he's going to quite get it. He's not quite close enough, is he? He's going to go for it under the brakes. Very late braking from the Williams. They go side by side through the corner. No contact made between them. Great racing shown between. Ayrton has none of that. He pushes him well out wide to the track and says, you want to come through, you've got to fight for it, pal. So he's going to make him sit behind him for now as they go through turn 4. And I think Kiernan's going to go on the attack. Is he? No, not quite. It looked like it from that angle, but not quite there. We'll have to wait and see what happens down through the next part of the corner. Speed Alcoholic, meanwhile, is 1.4 seconds ahead of Koru, so he's got this restart down to perfection. But those tyres will quickly come away from him, and Koru and Ayrton might see themselves catching up, but they're doing well thus far to keep the rest of the soft compound tyres behind them. Here comes Kiernan then. He's going to be looking to get the move done. Will he get it done under brakes? Here is a very sharp braking zone through there, and a little bit out of shape through the corner there. That's not the optimal way to take that corner. So it's going to throw him off a little bit. Don't touch that curb. Or he'll just be looking to get it done. There's no DRS until the lap after the next one, so we won't have any major overtakes. But here comes Kiernan again. He gets the better run out of turn 13. And he's going to have the inside line down through 14, and he's going to get the position up into P3. Koru with that 3-second penalty, he's going to be ruining the day. He went off track that one time during the race. 2 seconds ahead now. Speed Alcoholic is doing really well under this restart. Koru just not finding it with the tyres at the moment, and here comes MX on Ayrton. He goes up the inside of the AlphaTauri, and there's ghosting going on there. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Between there is MX car Ghost, but he gets up ahead of Ayrton now, who's dropped 2 positions in the last few corners of this lap, and he's going to be well off the podium for now, I think. And I'm not sure he'll get that win that Scott and I have predicted. But anyway, Kiernan is going to be close to the back of Koru. That's where he's going to want to keep. I think he want to try and get after Speed, but Speed is just way too far down the road now. So just be sensible with this one. He's got a penalty. You don't need to push him too hard, but getting somebody on track is always great, and Kiernan's going for it. Koru going defensive now. He doesn't want to lose that position. The fighting is going to mean that Speed is going to get away from them at the moment. I think Taylor Hammers is going to have a bit of the action as he spins down at turn 11. That is a big shame for the Haas driver. He was on for a great race at the beginning, and then he had a disconnect, and now he's had that spin just to add insult to injury there, as Kiernan once again looking for a move on the Aston Martin at the same place he got ahead of Ayrton on the last lap. DRS is now enabled to. The drivers will have that to their advantage, but Speed is way gone. I think this could be Speed's race unless he makes any silly mistakes. Kiernan looking for a way through, not quite going to find it, but he will have DRS on the next part of the circuit, and he's just all over the back. He's pushing Koru through that section of corners there, and here comes Kiernan. Koru going defensive, going down to the inside. They're going to go wheel to wheel. As Kiernan goes all the way around the outside. There's a little bit of contact between the two of them, but there's no major spins. Ayrton gets himself a 3-second time penalty, so that's going to see himself fall off the podium, I think. As very close racing between the Koru and Kiernan there. A lot is happening in a very short space of time. Seeing how things play out for the moment. These guys having some incredible battles out on the track. They're showing a lot of respect for one another. It's great to see. This race has been incredible. It's been a shame for some of the drivers, especially Ghost, who crashed after being up for a podium. But it's definitely turned this race on its head. Speed has gone, but he's not quite gone yet. As Kiernan now he's stepping it up a notch. He's chasing after Speed now. They're on the same compounded tyre. Kiernan sits the fastest lap of the race, but Speed's now got to put in faster laps than Kiernan. But Kiernan has the added pressure of having two cars behind him. One of them who will be slowly coming on to slightly more favourable tyres. As MX is now looking to get past Koru. There's no DRS for the Alfa Romeo at the moment. He'll just be sitting behind waiting. He'll get on that podium as long as he stays within 3 seconds of Koru. So he's not got to do too much. He's not got to risk a lot to get up to him, but Speed is just falling back. Kiernan is eating away at that gap. It's down to 1.1 now. He'll be in DRS very soon. He's not. He's not getting it this time, but I think he might get it on the start-finish straight there. So we'll wait and see. Speed's going to come under some pressure now. Kiernan wanting this race win for the Williams team. Looking down the back of the grid, Rick, who was way down in P15 at the beginning of this race, well up. He's having a great race out there. Jacko had a promising race to start off with, but then got involved in a lot of midfield fighting. Kieran, an easy win yet, perhaps, but it's not quite over yet. I'm not hearing any fat ladies singing, Lawson, so don't count those chickens. Of analogies have thrown into one part of the stream there, but here we go then. Kiernan in the DRS now, all Speed alcoholic. Speed's going to fight this tooth and nail, I'm sure. He's got Koru MX as well behind him. It's a 4-car fight, as it was at the very beginning of this race. Womax has retired from the session in the pit lane, so there'll be no safety cars coming out for that one at the moment. Jim Strav looking to get up past the Moniak. There's a big fight going on way back down in the grid for P7 at the moment. There's a lot of cars just all filtering through all over the road for the moment. Just kind of watching the gaps as they go along. Jacko getting up past Zidane. They're going side by side around the exit of turn 8. Jacko gets it done, gets the position before turns 9 and 10. Good racing from those guys, good respect shown between them. Rick involved in this fight now. We've got a 6-car scrap for the race lead. Any of these drivers could come out ahead. Koru and Ayrton are going to be on the disadvantage. They've got 3-second time penalties, so expect to see them drop way down. We're on aboard with Kiernan then, because he'll be putting the attacks on. He'll be opening up that DRS, trying to catch after Speed, but Speed has got a hell of a lot more battery in the tank, in reserve. He's ready, he's prepared for this fight with Kiernan. He knows what he's doing. He's led many a Grand Prix now. He's an incredibly fast and consistent driver, and he will be very much after that race win this evening. MX doing really well to continue a decent run of points. That's been a crash. I think that's Demoniac and Jacko. They've gone into the barrier. I think Jim Straff has joined them as well. There's been a massive Barney down the back of the grid there. I'm not exactly sure what's happened at all, but I think we might be seeing that one in the steward's room just a little bit later this evening. But we'll head back to the front of the race with lap 25 of 29 now. So the laps are waning thin. The drivers have not much has changed in the top five here, as they're all sort of following each other. Rick slowly falling off the back of them, just about staying within a second, but he's slowly falling off, as I think Koru and Ayrton might be coming into a bit more of a favourable window here for the grip. Ooh, as I say that, Koru, that was a little bit of a tag slapper going on out of 13. That was a very scary moment for sure. MX will be seeing that, saying, yeah, do that again, mate. Spin round and I'll have an easy spot. Here we go, Koru going on the attack. He's 3/10 off Kiernan. McKinnon's got the DRS as well. Speed up there, but there's just no closing. He closes quite a lot under braking. Look at that closing speed under once he slaps on the anchors. That was insane. He's going to be really trying to push off the Speed Alcoholic at the moment, but Speed has got a lot more battery left in that tank, so he's just sitting pretty. He doesn't have to do too much. He's just got to not fold under the pressure. 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane for Jacko, as the three of them have come into the pits after that incident. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I'm sure we'll know after the race has ended. These guys are all getting closer. Yellow flag in sector 1. I'm not sure what that's for. I think somebody might have retired from the race perhaps in the pit lane. But we can't. Yeah, that's Jim Strav. He's out of this race. He's had enough this evening. As there's a spin. Is that lifeboat round? Please say it isn't so. It is. Oh, lifeboat. It's going to be a top 10 finish for him though. So there's silver linings to all this. As the other guys are way back down the order for the moment, but it's getting interesting at the front. Koru right on the back of Kiernan right on the back of Speed. He's got MX and Ayrton as well. They're lingering in the background. We've got a 5-car fight for the lead. This is great to have again in Tier 1. This is why we want big grids when we go into an evening of motor racing, and Koru is going on the attack. They're all going to defend that inside line like there's anything. Then they switch all the way back to the outside onto the racing line. Koru goes for the move. He sticks his nose up the inside. Not quite going to get it done on Kiernan T at this moment in time, but he's going to go for the move again up into turn 4. Kiernan looking in his mirrors and up ahead of him. He's got cars behind him, cars in front of him. He's not sure what to do, but he continues to fend off Koru at the moment as those medium tyres come into the favourable window now. Those softs are going to be screaming as we go through to the end of the race, as they did make the right decision, but I'm not sure it's going to pay off for them, as they do have those penalties to try and navigate, unless they can pull out 3 seconds in the space of what is now 2.5 laps. It's all going to be for naught. But, it's Koru goes again. He goes a little bit shaky, and that's going to invite MX a lot closer into the fight. 5 cars fighting for the race lead. This is incredible. Imagine this in real-life Formula 1, but we've got it here in APPF1. It's incredible. They're going to be following each other down. I'm expecting a hell of an explosive scrap as we go down to turn 1. Speaking of scraps, here comes Ayrton. He's on the back of MX again. These two have had a couple of skirmishes between each other, and they're going to put on a show once more. But here we go then. Kiernan once again looking for the move on Speed. Speed having to use a lot of that battery that he had, so the advantage is gone now. So Kiernan is really looking for the attack. Speed is defending the inside line, putting that car beautifully in the middle of the track, saying, Kiernan, you go the long way round, pal, and trying to push him back into Koru as well. Koru is going to be looking to get through on this, as is MX. It's a big train going along. Will Kiernan go for the move? No, MX doesn't go for it either. Oh, Kiernan does have a little look, but it's not quite going to work out for this moment. There's just 1.5 laps left to go in this race, and it's incredible. There's just action at the front of the grid, and this is what we want to see. This is what we want to see, a big scrap for the lead of the race from start to finish, and that is what we've had here at APPF1 Tier 2. A Speed Alcoholic leads them round turn 10 for the second to last time on this grid. Big sad for Jacko. Yeah, that was a big crash. Kiernan's not quite getting that win so easy now, is he, Lawson? But there's still no fat lady singing, so we're going to wait and see what happens as we come down through the Essing. Well, the S's of 11 and 12 and into 13 now. Kiernan looking for the better exit. Then Speed, he's not quite going to get it. Speed gets a slightly better exit. They're all fairly equal on battery now. Ayrton's got the most out of all of them. He could make up some positions, but that penalty is going to be lingering over him this entire time. So we're really watching MX, Kiernan and Speed as they're going to be the guys on the podium here. Here comes Kiernan then. He's going for the move. He's got the outside line. Speed defends to the inside, and I think Kiernan's got it done, but Speed's going to come back at him. As you know, Koru goes up the inside of the both of them. He goes way too deep into the corner, and Speed's got to fight with that, and Kiernan has got well up into the lead, and I think Koru has caused that to happen. And MX is looking to get involved. MX drops down into 5th. There's 3 wide into turn 4. Be careful, chaps, as MX gets pushed well onto the inside. Speed's going to be looking to try and come back at Kiernan down through 10 as Koru gets another 3-second time penalty. So he's well and truly out of this now. As MX, as even Rick's going to jump him on penalties at the moment. But Kiernan into the lead, but Speed is close enough to try and challenge him once more. Will he go down on him? Oh, I'm getting lost for words. There's just so much happening, but Speed opening up that DRS. He's going to look to try and get ahead of the Williams into turn 11, but he's just not close enough. I think this is Kiernan's race to be won. It's all kicked off on this final lap here. They're coming through 12 and 13 for the final time. Kiernan has put on a great show, as well as all the other guys in the top 5 here, all fighting away for it. Ayrton looking to get a move on Speed Alcoholic. Speed defends to the inside and keeps Ayrton out. Oh, he has a little look along the outside, but it's not quite going to work as Kiernan comes across the line to take the win here at Bahrain after an exceptional race from everyone. Speed taking P2, MX getting on the podium after penalties with Ayrton and Koru. Rick getting into P5, a great recovery drive after an awful qualifying for him. Slippy Jimmy way down, but scoring some decent points to stay in the championship fight. Zidane P8, Taylor Hammers P9 after DCing. Decent recovery for him. Lifeboat into the he'll be finishing in the top 10 as well, so only losing those 2 positions. Well done, Lifeboat. A dreadful race for Jacko. But he's still in this fight at the minute. They're having a little scrap at the back, but he's got that time penalty. That's going to drop him right down to the back of the grid. So Jacko, the last of the finishers here. What an incredible race. That's going to be one for the for the archives for sure. Wow. All just kicked off in that final lap there. Koru driving down the inside. There's Speed and Kiernan trying to fight one another as well. I'm not sure Speed will be too happy about Koru's heroics into turn 1, as he wasn't fighting for that race lead in the first place. But action, action, action. I said this race was going to be incredible from the start, and it did not disappoint at all. Missed the fastest lap by 2/10. Oh, fastest lap going to Jackalacco in the Ferrari there. So it's the last of the finishers. But Kiernan, through thick and thin, has won this race here after fighting hard with Speed Alcoholic, our driver of the day. As far as the game's concerned, MX takes the final spot on the podium. NER, Ayrton and Rick make up the rest of the top 5, with Koru, Slippy Jimmy, Zidane, Taylor Hammers and Lifeboat the top 10. Demoniac, Tinos and Jacko the rest of the finishers then, as Jim Stravel, Max, Bossy Vamos, Aces and Ghost are the non-finishers of this race. Just need to take a moment to breathe. And reel from what was an incredible race. Wow. I feel like I've driven all 29 of those laps after that. That was incredible stuff to watch. Wow, well done Tier 1. That's an incredible advert for the community, and you've done all of yourselves proud. I need to go rest my voice, is what I need to do. I'm not sure if I'll be back next week. Depends if my work schedule is good for it, but if not, I'm sure we'll get some sort of form of coverage for the next round of the championship, which I'm just getting up for you guys now. The next round we'll be going to Australia. We'll be going to Melbourne for tricky circuit. Not everybody's cup of tea, but it'll make for some incredible racing, I'm sure, especially after that one. Anyway, I'm going to go rest my voice, get a cup of tea, and I think I might even be on ESRL in a couple of minutes' time, so this isn't the end just yet. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you go check out High Dive Apparel. Make sure you go check out the rest of the APPF1 affiliates, and especially Zach Sweeney. He may not be with us as much in APPF1 now, but he still deserves just as much as support, and a lot of thanks for being such an amazing commentator for our time as a community. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling now, and I will catch you Tuesday for some Tier 2, or if you're over on Ghost Channel in a moment for some ESRL. See you in a little bit. Or possible ESRL, I should say. I can't remember if it's on. Right. Ta-ra for now.